Welcome everyone to tvosj.org. That means the voice of San Joaquin right here off the Miracle Mile in Stockton, California. Welcome to Sabor Latino with Betty Ramirez. I have a guest here. Her name is Courtney Warfield, and she is a representative. Matter of fact, she wears a lot of hats. She gave me a couple of her business cards, but what we're going to be talking about is something that they have started, or she has started, and it's an organization that's eventually going to be a nonprofit organization. Is that correct, Courtney?
Yes, that's correct.
And it is called Teas?
RoyalTea Tutus, Queens and Tutus.
RoyalTea's Tutus. Okay. Talk to me about that, because, you know, there is a lot of people out there in the community that are listening, and they're always looking for good nonprofit organizations to join, to be part of, or even just, bring their families to partake. So go ahead.
Well, I'll give you a little backdrop of where this originated from. A friend of mine from back east New York posted a video online a few months ago about some women who were strangers coming together for a brunch, and they were doing a meet and greet, basically, and they were meeting at a coffee shop.
Okay.
And so they wore the same T-shirt to represent why they were there, as well as tutus. And I thought, wow, that would be great for something Stockton can do.
Oh, why the tutus? I think
I
that's so
have
cute.
no idea. I think tutus are just popular this time of season. And so we just ran with it. I thought, I've always wanted to wear a tutu. I thought this would be the opportunity. And so I put a post on Facebook just seeing if 25 women would join me and at a location that I was going to find, and I would pay for the photo shoot. And so we were just going to do a photo shoot wearing our tutus. And so 25 women turned into almost being tagged at least 200 times with women being interested in this. And so
Wonderful. I
I went to my sisters. I am one of 8, but I have 5 sisters, and we own a party rental store. And so we thought this would be a great time for us to turn this photo shoot into something bigger. And so we wanted to unify women in the city of Stockton by bringing them together, having them dress up, get all pretty and dazzled, and then just have a photo shoot. And so that's exactly what we did. And so we did that on the 31st of August from 4 to 6.
So that was pretty recent then.
That was just a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
And
Okay.
so I recognize that this is a season of women being healed from the inside out. And so in our community, I wanted to take part in that, and so start somewhere. And I thought, why not start there? So it allowed us to come together and just unify and introduce ourselves. There was a lot of women I didn't even know. I had a woman come up to me a few months back and said that she lived in Stockton for 2 years,
Okay.
but didn't know anyone. She wasn't familiar with any women. And I said, well, that's a shame. You've been here for 2 years and you don't know
Yes.
anyone. And so I introduced her to myself, of course, and gave her my number. And I said, okay, so we got to make sure that there's no other women walking around Stockton like this. So I was grabbing women off the street and say, hey, I'm putting together this on the 31st. You want to come? And so I had women that I don't know that were there. And I thought it was just wonderful and fabulous. So
That is so awesome, to be able to have it in you to reach out and touch someone and invite, what kind of reactions would you get from some of the other women that you approached? I'm just curious because, this is something that is so needed, in this area. Even me, just to hear you say that, I became interested. I'm like, wow, okay, I like that.
well, what I did was I used social media as my means of getting the word out.
Okay.
And I tagged, Facebook allows you to tag 100 people. And so I tagged 100 people on the post. And they, in turn, tagged various numbers of people, or women, I should say.
Usually that's what happens because they never want to go out there alone. They
Right.
want to be accompanied by a girlfriend, family member, someone that they're close to, feel comfortable.
Right. I don't think anyone came by themselves. If they did, they didn't leave by themselves. They left empowered, I would hope.
Oh.
But the response that I had received via social media was just so overwhelming. It just kind of just catapulted into something totally bigger than my expectations, which was wonderful. The event lasted 2 hours, but we gave each woman an opportunity to take a photo shoot by themselves or with other women. The pictures are already on social media, and there's like over 400 photos.
Wow.
Of women, and there's 100 of us showed up, and it was just very, very positive, very empowering, and that's exactly what I wanted them to leave with.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, you just started something marvelous.
I did.
What's the next step?
Well, the next step, I eventually want to move. My sisters and I, we have a party rental store called Queen Esther's Exquisite Party Rentals. And our hope is to link these two events together and start something in our community where women can be a part of. I am trying to look into making it a nonprofit, but my next goal is to actually do scholarships for women.
Oh.
In my mother's honor. My mother's name was Esther. We called her Queen Esther, who passed away in December. So it was our hope to continue her movement. She was a
Was this a dream? Was this something that she wanted to do?
Yes, actually.
Oh, bless
she was
your
a
heart for doing that.
She was a foster mother in our community for over 25 years, and so she's fostered many girls. And I'm a social worker as a result of her fostering those girls. But we wanted to keep something in her memory, and so we're hoping to develop a scholarship for girls who just wants to empower their community.
That's wonderful. I love that. That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
And, you know, I'm always big on promoting nonprofits. And if we could do anything to help you, we're there.
Oh,
We are
great.
community radio. We are not commercial. And because we're community, we're able to do this. And like I said, I'm big on supporting all the nonprofits, and especially if they have great resources for families, for single mommies, for all people.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's something that we do really well here at the radio station. And you coming through that door, coming in for the interview, you're part of the family now, girl.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So definitely whenever you have something that's coming up and you want to promote it, you have a space here.
I appreciate
And
that.
you will
Thank
forever have a space here. And that goes for anybody out there that's listening right now. If you have, plans on starting a nonprofit organization, know that you have some airtime right here, free airtime to promote yourself, promote the organization, and get the word out there. Whether if it's a new business too, if it's a new event, a product, think of us. We're right here. Like I always read the banner, community inspired, member supported, volunteer powered. You could always find us on the voiceofsanjoaquin.org or even the voiceofstockton.org. Love this. And, go ahead and put out all your contact information, because I know the people that are listening probably have some questions for you, or maybe they may even have something that they might want to share to, be part of your organization. So Go ahead.
Well, stay tuned for the next event. We're looking at spring of next year for our next big event. But in the meantime, there will be different things that we'll be trying to establish. If you're in need of reaching out to me, you can reach me on social media. On Instagram, I am the Travel Junkie 74, and on Facebook, I am Sunshine Courtney. Go ahead and friend me, and I have another Facebook account which is called RoyalTea Queens.
Okay.
RoyalTea. You can look at that page and also see all the different photos that we were able to capture on that day. There's over 400 photos. We do have video footage and a drone that were out there as well.
You had a drone, girl?
We had a
You
drone.
Get down.
Yes, we go big.
That's something I didn't have for our event.
Yes.
We had a little fundraiser, and I thought about it after the fact. I'm like, oh, well, good is that? I should have thought about it beforehand. And I did have somebody, a family member, that does have a little drone. Shoot, I didn't call him.
Yeah,
we
we
got
had
a
a
little
drone.
busy.
Yeah.
But that's great. So you got some really good shots.
We got some really air footage. We got ground footage. That's supposed to be coming out today, so look for that to be posted on my page. We had a chef out there.
Who was the chef?
Jeffrey Caldwell.
Okay, and
from
what
Sacramento.
did he serve?
He served street tacos, which were a big
Wonderful.
hit. So, yeah, we were able to feed them, and then and that was the end of that.
Oh, that's so sweet. So what are some of the other things that you're looking at? Because I know there's so much talent out there. There's a lot of women that have some really bright ideas. And, when they come together with a group of women, sparks happen. And, I keep picturing that. I keep picturing that with you.
Well, my mom was an artist. She was a freehand artist, and she
Tell
was,
me a little bit about your mom.
well, her name was Esther Warfield. Her and my father are in this community. My father is a pastor, Grady L. Warfield, in this community. But she was an artist, and she loved to decorate, and we called her the Martha Stewart of our family.
Sweet.
And so what I'm looking to do is just take her vision and what I shouldn't say what I'm looking to do, what my sisters and I, Gina, Carla, Kyra, and then I have two other sisters, Shanae, Lene. But we're looking just to promote community advocacy in our women's groups. I'm a therapist by trade, and so we're just looking to come together as a community and just heal those broken pieces by whether it's creative arts, it's whatever career path that we can bring to the table. We just want to do it.
That's wonderful. Okay. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Me?
A little background. Yes.
Well, I'm born and
Courtney?
raised here in Stockton, California. I'm a native.
Okay.
I went to I
Love
went
it.
to Franklin High School. I am a
Go
Yellow
Yellow
Jackets.
Jackets.
Yes, I graduated in class of 1992. My sisters and I, we all played basketball for Franklin. And my sisters Carla and Kyra, they're twins, and we all went to Morgan State on a basketball scholarship. So we went to
Wow.
an HBCU back in the 90s and played basketball there, and we all got our degrees. Then we came home to help our community. So my sisters are teachers, and I have a sister, Gina, who's working in mental health as well. My sister Kyra is a teacher at Hamilton. My sister Carla is a teacher at Edison. I am a clinical therapist here in the city of Stockton.
Wow. Impressive. Impressive.
Yeah.
So, okay. Give me an example of how you help individuals. For instance, someone that has been through a lot of pain. For instance, give me an example so that way, ladies get to know just a little bit more about you.
Well, I do so many different treatment modalities, but there's so many different ways. I teach at Stanislaus State in their master's program for trauma, so I teach trauma courses. So there's so many different areas that you can treat. And if I had someone come into my office, I would, for me, my therapy looks like I treat them from the outside in. Some women in the African American community are the way we look, the way we've been told we're ugly, our skin color, that affects us, and that affected us in our community throughout history. And so what I try to do is treat from the outside in. If I can get to the outside, then I can get a path into the inside and treat from the inside.
Wow. When you said that, I imagined me because I'm very morenita. And my nickname was Negrita, the dark one. And I hear what you're saying. The darker you are, you're always the one that's not picked first. And I wondered, about why my mom gave me that nickname. And it was because of my shade. My shade of brown was much darker. All my sisters are much lighter, just like my mother. But Daddy was the moreno, dark skin. And I think it's such a beautiful color today. And I say, you know what? We're all beautiful.
We're all beautiful.
We all bleed
whatever
the
shade.
same. We're all beautiful. No matter what shade you are, you're beautiful inside and out. I believe the Lord made us all unique.
Yes, He
in
did.
that special way. So when I hear you say that, my heart hurts, and I thought, well, you know what, she's right in so many different ways, because I also see that in the Latino group, and that is a sad thing.
Yeah.
I've always been very morenita, and I love my color, and I'm so proud to be my color, and I'm just like, you know what, no, I'm gonna change that around. Got to change it to positive.
It's not just the color of our skin. It's sometimes the features that God has given us that we feel insecure about. Especially in the minority community, we have been looked down upon because of the spread of our nose or the spread of our lips or what have you. And so trying to make sure that women understand that they're beautiful, whatever shape, shade, whatever they come to the table with. They're okay. They're okay. And they're beautiful.
And they are. And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we had every shade of woman out there, every age, which was amazing.
You had different nationalities?
We had different nationalities.
Tell me all the nationalities you saw that
Latinos were present. We had a Caucasian that was present. We had Asians were present. We had, of course, African Americans. And
Yes.
it was just wonderful to see that there was no barriers. Anyone could come out. And we held hands. We said a prayer. And we walked hand in hand. And the video shows that, making sure that our community knows we're here to stand strong, united with each other.
What kind of questions did they ask? Because I know they were curious, or were they afraid to ask? Were they just observing, listening, or?
No, it was an opportunity where there were no questions asked. This was
Okay.
just an opportunity for us to love on each other, hug,
Just come and mingle and just,
exactly.
okay, get to know each
and
other.
get to know each other. The next phase will be that, but this was just for you to get dressed up, get all beautiful and dazzled, and then as they entered in, I told each of them, "You're beautiful, you're gorgeous," and just hearing those affirmations from someone else. It made them walk a little taller and come on
Yes.
in and get their photo taken. Everyone there that was there, I would hope they had their photo taken. Again, there were so many women. I hope I was able to touch every one of them. But we wanted the opportunity for every woman and then have access to those photos. So those photos were shared with them so that they can have them. And so all the props that were there were made by my father, who took a very, very large portion, a role into what we were doing, as well as my brother-in-law. And so when they walked in, they were just amazed. They didn't realize how big we were going to go. And so the smiles on their face, we were in the Rose Garden on California Street. And so it's a circle. And in the entrance is a arch of the name of the Rose Garden. And so when they walked in the arch and they saw everything in the circle with the roses, they were just amazed. And they were like, wow, we didn't realize it was going to be like this. And so they were able to go to each station and take their photo, and it was wonderful.
Oh, that's so
It was
sweet.
wonderful.
That is a sign of success. When you have a big number like that at the beginning, you see that there's a need.
Yes.
And they're coming forth. And I love it when they come forth because they're
Yes.
speaking up and they're not being afraid.
Yeah.
So many times you hear that, you know what, I stayed home. I really didn't want to mingle, be around people. Or, lately I've been hearing, too scared to come out, too scared to be out in the public, too scared to be amongst too many people because of the shootings, because of this, because of that. And, we just had a fundraiser event, and it's called, it's the 5th annual Chicano Community Program, Radio Reunion. And it was also a fundraiser for the radio station. And this is something that I've been building year after year after year. I was part of the radio station at the University of Pacific back in the day, 70s and 80s. And that's when that program started. And it was called Your Chicano Community Program. And it was a community radio. So when it ceased to exist, and I think it was in 98 when they sold it, it silenced the community. And so just when I came back home, I found out that they did that. And I said, how can they take that radio station from the students? That's where I learned. I learned in the tower, in the Burns Tower. I was actually at the very top, broadcasting with a good team. And so many things are happening, and I loved it. So I ended up majoring in communications because of it.
Wow.
So when I heard that they didn't have the radio station anymore, my heart broke. And I'm like, if there's a way to try to get that community radio back, let's do it for the people, right?
Yeah. We all need a voice.
Exactly. So when I heard and when they heard that I had radio experience, they asked me to be part of this. And I said, in an instant, if it's for the community, for the people, giving back their voice, yes, let's do it. So I've been with them ever since, 3 years new, growing strong, 200,000 listeners a month.
Wow.
And now FCC's looking at us, give us a couple more sister stations, and I'm just like, yes.
Well, we speak truth.
Yes. And so this radio station, I hold dear to my heart because it is for the people and it's by the people. And we need this in a big way. So I'm just happy to have you here today,
thank you. I'm
sharing
happy to
what
be
you're
here.
sharing. I'm just elated. Sounds to me like this is going to be a successful nonprofit organization. And like I said, whenever we can be of service, please call on us. We are here.
Thank you.
And yeah, but I want to give you an applaud for doing what you did. I love the fact that you just dove in it and just did it.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of guts. A lot of times women are like, not sure if I should do it. Maybe not this year, maybe next, or we'll use another little excuse to put it off. But you did it. So I
Yeah.
applaud you for that.
Thank
Good job.
you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Any thank yous, any acknowledgments that you have that you want to make?
Yeah, I
to
just want
anybody out
to thank all the ladies that did show. There's too many to name, but I appreciate you all for being there, for supporting this event. Many of you that were not able to be at that event, I did receive your calls, your texts, your messages. And so just look for the next event. I'll make sure to invite you all. But I do want to send a special shout out and thank you to my father, Grady L. Warfield Sr., who put his heart and soul into this project. When I came to my sisters and my father with the vision, they just said, sure, and ran with it. So I'm going to send a shout out to my sister, my older sister, Gina Warfield, Carla Harrison, and Kyra Gaines, Shanae, who helped us with makeup, and Lene, and my brother-in-law, Marcus Harrison, who also labored, and my personal chef, Jeffrey Caldwell.
So you had the whole family there.
I had the whole
You
family
go, girl.
there. Yeah.
Reach out to family because, when you have a big family and they all care and love you, you know that they want to help. They want to do whatever they can to lift you. And that is so super. And friends too. So what a beginning. What a start.
Yeah.
Pow!
Yes.
So kudos to you and, total success.
Thank you.
I don't see you going anywhere else but up.
Thank
So,
you. I do have to
bless
say
your
one more
heart.
thank you. Thank you, Calvin Nunley. You were there with the labor of love as well. They were there the entire time. We said no men, but they stayed there. My photographer was Samuel Reeves, Dominic Cook, and I had another photographer, Nathan O'Neill. So thank you for your time and labor of love.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, thank you for coming in and making today special.
Thank you
And
so much
remember
for
what
the
I said.
invitation.
You're part of the family here at the Voice of San Joaquin. And yes, you heard it right here at tvosj.org. You can find us. You can call us. We're right over here off the Miracle Mile, 231 Bedford Road. And you can give us a call if you would like to be part of the radio. 209-467-4455 is the number. Or you could look us up on the Voice of San Joaquin, also the Voice of Stockton.org. Remember, we are community inspired, member supported, volunteer powered. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do appreciate you. This is Betty Ramirez signing off on Sabor Latino. I shall see you tomorrow.